RBI recruits at the grade B level every year under 3 streams. This consists of the general stream, the DEPR stream, and the DSIM stream. In this video, we are going to concentrate on the DEPR stream and all the information that you may need for this particular exam, including the eligibility, the exam pattern, the syllabus, the vacancy trend in the past, and the cutoff for this exam. Hello everyone, welcome to IExamB and prepare 50% faster by embracing the IExamB learning experience consisting of a complete course for your preparation for the government job. So let's get started and understand about the DEPR department and its process of selecting candidates for placement in the DEPR department by RBI. The department is the Department for Economic and Policy Research. Now this department is like the think tank or the knowledge center for the RBI, which is providing a lot of macroeconomic policy related research which helps in the policy related decision making by RBI, right? They focus on a lot of macroeconomic challenges and provide primary statistics, sources, information, research related to that. So some of, for example, the areas macroeconomic challenges in the Indian economy that it covers relates to the monetary policy, growth and inflation dynamics, the financial markets, the various macroeconomic variables, the banking sector, financial sector and its stability, and the external sector. So all these areas which RBI is focusing on and coming out with the policy decisions to ensure financial stability in the country is what the DEPR department is helping with. Some of the important publications, if we see that come out from this department, include the RBI's own annual report, a very important report which is on the trends and progress of the banking in India. Some other reports include the state finances and a study of budgets, RBI's monthly bulletin, which is a very good document covering a lot of important analysis and research articles every month, the handbook of statistics on Indian states, and various RBI occasional papers that come out. So a lot of important publications and knowledge comes out from this particular department. So let's go on to understand how RBI recruits for this particular department. So first is the eligibility. Who will be eligible to give this exam for getting selected in the DEPR exam, right? So first we will talk about the educational eligibility. 2 degrees at the master's level are eligible, either a master's degree in economics or a master's degree in finance, right? And how do you determine whether the degree is a master's degree in economics or finance? For that, the principal constituent should be either of these subjects, which means at least 50% or more of the subjects or the credits for your entire degree course should relate to economics or finance subjects. So accounts focused degree will not be considered here. Finance focused degree would be considered, right? So that you have to ensure that you have a master's degree, and master's degree, that should be a full 2 years degree from a recognized Indian or foreign university or institute. Second important thing is this degree that you have, you should have got this with a minimum 55% marks, right? At least 55% marks if you are from the unreserved or the OBC category, or 50% marks in case you are an SC, ST or PWBD candidate, right? So first, either a degree in economics, and that too at a master's degree, or a master's degree in finance, and at least 55% marks in case you are an unreserved or a OBC candidate, or 50% marks in case you are an SC, ST or PWD candidate. If you have any doctorate degree or any research or teaching experience in the field of economics, then you will also be a desirable candidate. Now this is a desirable, it is not mandatory, and in the past we have seen a lot of candidates who may not have this particular experience or doctorate degree. So this is essential, this is what you should focus on. Okay, I hope this is clear, because many times students get confused. If they have done a CA, will they be eligible? If you have done a CA, you will be eligible for general, but not for DEPR stream. Okay, let's move on to the age limit. Okay, so from age wise, you should be at least 21 years old and not more than 30 years old as per the cutoff date. So whenever the notification comes out, there will be a cutoff date. As per that cutoff date, you should be maximum 30 years or minimum 21 years. There are certain age relaxations, like 5 years relaxations for SC/ST, 3 years relaxation for OBC candidates, right? So generic relaxations that are given in any government job, those are eligible over here. Particularly for DEPR, as we saw in the desirable eligibility, that if you have done a doctorate degree, or if you have some kind of research or teaching experience, in that case also some age limit relaxation is being given. Say for example, if you have an MPhil degree or a doctorate degree, then you will get an relaxation of up to 2 years and 4 years respectively. So for 2 years for MPhil degree and 4 years for doctorate degree. Or if you have any experience in the research and teaching in the field of economics with any recognized Indian or foreign university or institute, in that case you will get relaxation up to your experience, subject to a maximum of 3 years. So if you have an experience of 2 years, you will get a relaxation for 2 years. In case you have experience of 3 years, you will get a relaxation up to 3 years. In case you have experience of 4 years, then you will get a relaxation up to 3 years, because that's the maximum you can get. And this relaxation cannot be in addition to the above relaxation. So either of the relaxations will be considered, right? So this is about the age limit and your educational eligibility. Let's now move on to the selection process and what the exam pattern will be. So your selection overall will be dependent on the exam, which is this in 2 phases, plus your interview, right? So that will lead to your final selection. So the exam pattern will be consisting of 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2, right? Phase 1 is of 200 marks. And phase 2 is another 200 marks, totaling 400 marks. So this is your written exam. And then we have the interview of 75. So your final selection will be out of 475 marks. Now let's understand each of these a little in detail, right? So for your phase 1, these 2 papers consisting of your paper 1, which is an objective paper on economics, and paper 2, which is a descriptive paper on English. Your paper 1 objective on economics will be an MCQ format question with 4 options that are given to you, 65 questions, 30 questions of 1 marks each, 35 questions of 2 marks each, which will total your 100 marks. So this is how your paper will be. This will also have a negative marking, 1/3 in case of a 1 marker. So this will have a 1/3 reduction, and this 2 marks will have a half mark. So that is 25%, and here 33% is what your negative marking is, right? 2 papers on the same day. So this paper happens in phase 1 happens in 2 shifts, in the morning shift and in the afternoon shift, right? So on the same date, both the papers have to be given. The second paper is descriptive English, which is testing your drafting skills in English, and it has 4 questions related to essay, letter, précis, and reading comprehension. So these are the 4 questions which add up to your 100 marks. Again, a 2 hours paper, 2 hours each for each of these papers is what you get. Okay, so this is your phase 1. If you clear phase 1, you become eligible to go and write phase 2. So RBI, based on the performance, decides a cutoff and declares the people who have moved to phase 2. Let's understand the syllabus. Before that, let me tell you about the RBI DEPR online course that is available and offered by IExamB. This is a comprehensive course covering your entire selection process, right from phase 1 written exam, phase 2 written exam to interview stage. The course consists of video lessons that you can go through to understand and revise a lot of concepts related to the syllabus of phase 1 and phase 2, study notes for your quick revision and understanding and key points, a lot of practice mock tests. 10 mock tests are given to you for your phase 1 objective economics paper. Then there is content for descriptive economics and also descriptive English, and a lot of practice mock tests are also provided for both these descriptive economics and descriptive English exams. And at the end you also get the interview guidance if you reach the interview stage. So the entire course is available. You can go and check out the demo on our website IExamB.com. In 2023, we had 15 selections out of the 34 final selections that happened in DEPR. You can also listen to some of the success stories from 2023 and also from 2022 available on our YouTube channel. Moving ahead, talking about phase 1 syllabus. The phase 1 syllabus, that is the objective paper on economics, consists of and is covering 8 topics, which is broadly a lot of topics from the entire economic syllabus. That is your microeconomics, macroeconomics, international economics, theories of economic growth and development, public finance, environmental economics, quantitative methods in economics, and the current developments in the Indian economy. So you have to be updated with the current developments also, in addition to all the knowledge related to various economic subjects. Here the objective paper, so your conceptual understanding and a lot of practice is very, very important. If you will be listening to these success stories, you will also realize how for these students a lot of practice for the MCQ was important and played a role for them to get through the phase 1. If you want to know what exactly had been asked in 2023 and in the previous years, you can watch this video in detail, which is covering the detailed questions that were asked in the phase 1 of the DEPR exam. Moving on to the phase 2 exam pattern. The phase 2 exam pattern also consists of 2 papers. Here, both the papers are descriptive in nature for the economics subject. Here, you have to go to the center. The question is displayed to you on the computer screen, but you have to write it with your hand. So it's a handwritten paper, which is different from your descriptive English paper where you had to type. Right, so you had to type your answer for English. However, for economics, it's a handwritten paper. Again, it will be 200 marks in total. The breakup here is as follows. Again, it will be on the same day in 2 shifts, morning shift and afternoon shift. Paper 1 will be a descriptive paper on economics consisting of 5 questions that you have to attempt, right? So, but you are given a choice. So how this is structured is there are 2 sections. Your section 1 or A is based on microeconomics, and your section B is based on macroeconomics. From each of the sections, 4 questions are given to you. So you have a total of 8 questions for each, right? And you have to do at least 2 from each of the sections plus 1, right? So 2 questions from at least each of the sections plus 1 more question. So in total, you have to do 5 questions out of a total of 8 questions. And each of these 5 questions, all questions carry 20 marks. So that's how you make up 100 marks. Same pattern in your paper 2. Here the subjects that are covered are your quantitative methods, and your Indian economy. Again, 8 questions in total, 4 from each of these sections. 2 from each section you have to do, plus 1 additional question has to be done, right? So these are your descriptive papers on economics that happen in the phase 2. Once you get through the phase 2, you move to the next stage. But for phase 2, what exactly is the syllabus? So for phase 2, a detailed syllabus again has been given by RBI. Under microeconomics, you have to cover the consumer theory, production theory, market theory, distribution theory, and the welfare economics. So it's almost everything under economics. So conceptual understanding and detailed practice is what is required. Under macroeconomics, again, almost all the most important topics: national income accounting, theory of employment and output, inflation, money and banking, theories of economic growth and development, international trade, and public finances covered. For the paper 2, under quantitative methods, both mathematical and statistical method plus the econometrics has to be covered over here. Very, very important is regression analysis and time series questions. Under module on Indian economy, all the latest trends and policies related to fiscal policy, monetary policy, banking and financial sector, inflation, and the external sector developments related to exchange rate, balance of payments are important, right? So this is how the syllabus is there. Almost everything that you study in any basic master's degree of economic subject is covered here in detail. So the key is more about conceptual basing and then a lot of practice to help you go through this exam. What questions have been asked in 2003? You can refer to our video on 2023 DEPR Phase 2 analysis, where you will know what are the questions that were asked. The final stage is your interview. So if you pass the Phase 1 and the Phase 2, then you move on to the interview stage, and this interview is of 75 marks. As I said, the final selection is a combination of all three. So your Phase 1, 200 marks, plus your Phase 2, 200 marks, plus your interview, 75 marks. So your final selection is based on 475 marks. 475 is the basis for your final selection. So each phase matters. If you are very good at objective, ensure you maximize your marks there in Phase 1. If you are very good at English, ensure you maximize your marks. If you are not, don't leave or neglect that English paper, because it can really help you pull up your final score, right? So we have to be careful giving equal importance and weightage to the preparation. Many times economics students neglect the English paper, where they can very easily, with some practice and knowing the concepts of how to approach these 4 subjects, you can very easily score. All you need is a little practice and concentration and commitment towards the subject. If you have to understand now, discussing the vacancies and applications, how it has moved. So DEPR department has been growing, and it has been reflected from the vacancies and recruitment that has been happening. So if I analyze the last 6 recruitment cycles since 2017, from 12 recruitments to 38 recruitments in 2023, there has been an increasing trend in the number of vacancies for the DEPR department. If we look at the number of applications and the people who finally get selected, the trend has been more or less similar. But in 2023, based on the estimate of the number of students who have cleared Phase 1, the number of students applying has also increased. So this number is an estimation. This data is not been given out by RBI, but other data has been given out by RBI. So we did see an increase in the number of people clear Phase 1. This could be for 2 reasons. One, the paper was a little more structured, with the syllabus first time being given for DEPR in 2023, and also could be the fact because of the number of students who have increased in the for applying for this paper. Nonetheless, we see that since 2021, there has been a gap between the final selections and the number of vacancies. So the number of vacancies were 29 in 21, and 25 students got selected. In 22, 31 vacancies, 26 students got selected, and in even 23, 38 students, but 34 finally got selected. So number of vacancies existing for DEPR has been increasing and also not being fully filled, which is also reflecting that RBI is not getting the right candidates for this job. So if you are really interested in working with RBI under the Policy and Research Department, you should go for it in a very structured, aligned and dedicated, focused manner. There is a very high chance you will get through if you are ready to do the hard work. in a strategic manner for this particular exam, because this gap is still there, which means the right candidates are not reaching RBI. So if you have any doubts whether I should go for this or not, number of vacancies are less, please understand that you can be the right candidate if you are ready to put in the effort to get through this particular exam. Let's understand the cutoff. In 2023, for the phase 1, the cutoff was 112 marks under the general category or the unreserved category out of the 200. So let me write this as unreserved category. For phase 1 and phase 2 together, out of 400 marks, 254 was the cutoff. And for the final selection, so this is the final selection, out of 475, 322 was the cutoff under the unreserved category. For ST category, 258.17 was the cutoff, final cutoff. As compared to the last previous years, if we see, the trend has been, there was a continuous fall in the phase 1 cutoff because of the increasing difficulty level, as some students have mentioned. But in 2023, we have seen it come back to 56%. So above 50% that we had seen in 2017 and 18. So with a more structured approach, with the right kind of practice, phase 1 is easier to get through. And even with descriptive English now being a part of phase 1, it increases your chances and abilities to clear phase 1 with more ease. Phase 1 and phase 2, we have seen around 63 to 64% as coming out as cutoff, and the final selection is revolving around 68% from the last 2 recruitment cycles. If you want to know the exact cutoff marks for each of the recruitment cycles, you can refer to this table. Since 2017 till 2019, the phase 1 was of 100 marks, phase 2 was of 300 marks, and your final selection was on 350 because the interview was of 50 marks. In 21, the marks of the interview was increased to 75. So this was increased to 75, leading to the final selection out of 375. In 2023, there has been a pattern change in which the descriptive English was added to the phase 1. So it was moved from phase 2 to phase 1. So descriptive English has always remained of 100 marks, but it was shifted to phase 1, and your phase 2 was made of 200 marks, which was initially also into 2 divided papers. And your interview continues to be of 75 marks. So there has been a 100 marks increase in the papers in 2023. So this has been the cutoff trend. And if, as I discussed, the vacancies have been increasing also. But this is also a fact that 4 to 5 vacancies are going vacant every year. Right? So this is all about the DEPR exam. If you want to know any more details, you can always write to us or visit our website or call us on 920-552-4028. Please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon if you have not already done that, so that you know the latest updates related to this exam or any other opportunities that may come and would be of interest to you. Thank you everyone. Wishing you all the best. Prepare 50% faster with IExamB.